What's going on, brothers and sisters? This is Professor Spira.
Brother Air, what's up? Long time no see.
Long time no see. Get up a little closer to that mic so that the lovely brothers and sisters can hear you properly and
Hello, can you hear me?
And hopefully we're on all cylinders here, and I got all the.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
I've been fasting. I've been dry fasting. I might come off after this.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
I guess it's the first day of spring. That this is our new year. I'm declaring it. This is the new year for us. It's like the real new year.
The real new year. Things start to happen. Things start to grow. Things start to regenerate. Things start to manifest. Things start to. Well, I don't know if they start to die, but they die and they live. And what we're talking about
transition.
Is
transition
into. Okay, let's say the word immortality. I
right.
know y'all have a problem with that,
hey.
but we just believe it. We think that it is inevitable that we realize it as hybrid humans. That's
the real hybrid. Yeah. Hybrid, we're hybrid humans.
Hybrid humans. You know.
Yeah.
And we have to start thinking like that, about the blood,
reconstruction of the blood,
the plasma. We have to start thinking about it in terms of being very hybrid.
Yeah. That is not what it's supposed to be.
What it's supposed to be.
And we gotta. Part of the journey is to figure out what it actually is supposed to be, and that's what we're trying to do.
And the journey, the most logical and rational journey, is using the Mucusless Diet Healing System to transition inside this journey.
Yeah.
Because you ultimately want to go to radioactivity synthesis. Now, that's some new shit we coming up with. But the reality of it is you have to become another kind of entity, another kind of living human. We're not even lasting till 50 and 60 now, man. I mean, it's like this blood that we have, this hybrid blood, is we're experiencing a little glimmer of life.
Yeah.
It's just a glimmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a glimmer.
Just a drop.
Just a drop. And so we come together, man. This is just so good to be up here with my brother, and we doing this State of the Mucus address. And we're going to talk about pus too now.
State of the, pus and mucus go together for us.
Pus
and mucus.
Pus
and mucus.
We want you to know that, we're gonna talk about you. We're gonna talk about us. We're gonna talk about. We're gonna really, lay it out, man, and what do you think? They have a way to hit us and let us know.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the chat right here.
Oh, okay.
And we got some you beautiful folks out there chiming in. What's going on, everybody?
Showing up.
Yeah.
Cause I just walked in the door.
Yeah, you know how we do it.
Just walked in the door at 7 o'clock.
It was.
So, it was either Columbus or New York, and I chose Columbus.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And so so this is, man, 2019 in their numbers and in the way they calculate time, which is already a tragedy. Just
a tragedy
of nutrition.
Yeah.
Just the way they even think about time, and it's just so problematic. But it's wonderful to be on here. I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. A lot of stuff has been going on, and you've just now started to see some of the stuff that I've been releasing. And I guess this would be a good time to give an overview of some of the things that's happening. We now have. So first and foremost, and you'll see the links below. I'm gonna run through these now. Just get this over with. So the first thing you can do, we're doing a reboot of the Insiders Club, and I put out a couple new free downloadable items. So you sign up, and like I said, check the link down below. You probably already have the top 10 mucus-free foods, but the two new things that I put out is there's 5 mucus-free recipes, but the thing I'm most excited about is the menu planning report, because this is something that I think I'm going to talk a lot about in 2019. I think it's an angle it's so simple. It's not necessarily something everybody has to do, but I think it's something that a lot of people could benefit from, because I'm seeing a lot of people that's saying, well, where do I start? Even after they read the Mucus Diet book, they're like, well, where do I start? How do I what recipes to pick and all that kind of stuff. I have an approach to menu planning that's just based on applying the information and synthesizing information from the Mucus Diet book. And this document is an introduction to that. So that's totally free. You sign up and you get the free report, 5 recipes, and then there's my top 10 list if you actually don't have that. And let's see, we got the little cover here for the introduction to Mucusless Diet Healing System menu planning. And so like I said, that's all for free. Now, also started with you'll see I got a new landing page for book bundle. And so this is all 7 books. A lot of people don't even know that there's 7 books that you can buy, because for a long time we just had the 5, and then last year we released the Physical Fitness through Superior Diet, which was previously unprinted. It was out of print. You couldn't get it. Then there's a Spira's Notes, which a lot of folks have actually been in saying they really like this, and I haven't promoted it that much. This is like it has a lot of outlines, and it is just basically totally outlines the Mucusless Diet Healing System. This is perfect for leading discussions, giving lectures, all that kind of stuff. It's basically like lecture notes. So that's involved here. So basically what I did was to try to create something. It's hard to compete with Amazon even when it's your product, but by bundling all of the books together for one price, I'm able to save you a lot of money than if you were to try to buy all the books on Amazon. And so you can go to the link.
And you should have all the books.
Well,
I mean if you're serious about the system, you should have the system.
Yeah.
This is the system.
This is the whole kit and caboodle here. So you can get the digital version, $37. If all you want is just the paperbacks, that's currently $77. And then, but I recommend I call it the ultimate everything. It's all the paperbacks, all the PDFs, plus the MP3s for the audio book. That's all for $97. If you had bought all of that stuff individually, it'd almost be $200. And for a super limited time, I'm actually autographing the annotated Mucusless Diet Healing System and Spira Speaks, only for the ultimate everything package. So if you get that package, that's on. Now, if you get this, there is an opportunity to upgrade it. And I'm laying this all out now. Like I said, we're gonna get this all out. Once you purchase this, there's an upgrade that you can get for just a few more dollars. You can get the Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course, and now that's all cylinders a go. We had about 80 students that got into it in the early bird period back in July, and I just got a lot of great feedback. Just people are really loving this course, just to have access to these meditations and analysis on each lesson of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. And no matter how much of a analytical reader or a close reader you are, there's probably something that you didn't pick up on, or maybe you didn't research, or you didn't think about, and we cover all that, all those the crevices and the cracks of the book. We get into all that, as well as just the basic stuff that you need to know. So that's one way to get the e-course. Now, if you don't want the books, maybe you already got the books, there is another e-course way to get the e-course for a great price. We're having a spring sale, 2019 spring sale, additional $20 off with that coupon code. And then it's already a discounted price when you go to that page. So that's what's going on with that. So we got free stuff for you. We got the book bundles, which I'm just happy to just be able to bundle all these books together and just say this is the standard now. Is you just want to have all of them. You just want to have all of them. Then we got the e-course, which I'll be talking a lot more about the e-course over the next weeks and months, because it's really been really transforming some folks that's been going through it, and so I'm really happy about that. So
Sister Decor, we get ready to get you a bunch of bundles. So get ready.
Yeah.
Get ready to hook you up with a bunch of bundles, so you can sell bundles now.
Right. So that's that. That's what's going on there, and there's a lot of stuff happening in terms of, I guess, the Arid Day. We're starting to put that together. The Arid Day Festival is going to be that last weekend of July. It's going to be somewhere here in Columbus.
Yeah.
So if you want more information about that, if you sign up for the Insiders Club, once we kind of have everything specified, we're going to shoot out a newsletter to everybody. and those that are interested in doing that can go on ahead and plug in. But if you want to make your plans, we are committed to that last weekend in July. In fact,
we got about 4.5 months now.
Yeah.
So
that would be July.
To get to Columbus.
Yeah, July 27th and 28th.
You can start walking now.
You start walking now. Get your bike. Get your bike out. Grease up the bike chain.
We got a lot more time to plan it this year, where last year we did it in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And we were just trying to have something because we wanted to get started. Now we got started, and it was a great success. And we want to do it this year and give you the heads up early enough where you can come from different countries, different cities. That was the beautiful part about last year is everybody was from different cities. I mean, like, it wasn't nobody hardly there from Cincinnati or Columbus.
Right.
Everybody was, from way, New York, New Mexico, Pittsburgh, and
right,
that kind of thing, Chicago.
Right.
Come on, man, and it takes us to make Auto Eric Day something, to make it something special. So you got to show up, start saving your little pennies, and come on, man, to Columbus.
This is some footage of
some fun,
footage of last year, man. Yeah, it was a special event. It was definitely is taking things that we talked about 12, 13 years ago, and because we didn't give up, because we didn't say, oh, it's hard, or it's this, or people don't want to listen, or whatever. It's like we just do what we do. We follow through.
Right.
And it tends to it takes longer, but that's how it is. It takes longer, but we're trying to build something for real. That's permanent. That's not just here today and gone tomorrow. I mean, I've seen so many of these little fad things and little movements and little things that pop up on social media, and they are all the rage for like a year or maybe 6 months or 2 or 3 years. But then all of a sudden they're gone. They fall apart. The leadership disbands, and they're fighting against each other, doing all this YouTube drama and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just
what we want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about
the turn that the holistic community, the health community, the turn that they've taken is wow. Would you like to start on it? let me come up from the rear.
Yeah. Well, so it's the stuff that I've always talked about, that those of you that know me, you already know what I'm about to say. Nobody wants to deal with the transition diet. Transition diet. There's 3 lessons dedicated to the transition diet in the Mucusless Diet Healing System. And it's talked about throughout, but nobody wants to deal with the transition diet. And so all of these things that pop up, we have all of these cleanses, and we're going to talk about cleanses in a second. Different, there's more extremist fad. It's like there's all this spectrum. You got these extremist things of these kind of fasting propositions of, fast nothing but for 20 days or 40 days with no transition.
Be a breatharian.
Well, I mean, that's a whole other, that's as extreme as that gets on that side of it. Then on the other side, you got the stuff they put on TV that's just real, the Nutri-System, Weight Watchers type of stuff, and Atkins diet is back. I work out at a gym around here.
Eat as
And they'll
much
have
steak as
TVs.
you can, huh?
Yeah, and I was surprised to see that on the commercial. They had a commercial of the Atkins diet. I was like, man, what they trying to bring that back to? I mean, but basically the transition to the Atkins type of thing, it went Atkins, paleo, and now is the low carb ketogenic keto is the current fad in that arena. And then what happens is now they're trying to have like plant-based keto. And so it's like let's have plant-based Atkins, it's ridiculous. And so but I don't know, we want to see more people. It's like the reason I think a lot of people don't like this path is you got to be too calm. It's like we settle down. We're not real hyper, and people.
You gotta be patient.
Yeah, and they'll actually say that's a bad thing or something, that we're not all like super hopped up and like you gotta juice, we don't have that type of energy. All these like gains and all these different people that are on that I don't know, there's this gains movement, this whole kind of workout thing, but is just very, very stimulated. And we're about non-stimulation, being calm, actually having clarity of thought, clarity of purpose. And
that is a form of stimulation.
Yeah.
It's a controlled stimulation.
Right.
You control your stimulant because we know what we need. When I need to be a little bit, okay, I'm getting ready to do this. I know,
Right.
I drink a little juice and boom, I'm here.
Right.
I'm there. Stimulant can be a proper way to think about things, but not in the way that we control our stimulant. Very, very, very controlled type of way. It's not like we're like just hyping up. Like everybody wants to get high, and that's the problem I have with what's going on with this thing. With all the detoxes, the detox specialists, what Professor Spira was talking about, all these things, everybody wants to still get high.
Yeah.
That's really what you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Uric acid folks get stimulated in a whole different way.
Yeah.
The extreme things that they do, you dig? Versus those who are mucus and pus, their stimulant is a whole different kind of thing that they do.
Right.
So with the detoxers, okay, y'all done went overboard. Y'all just done. You are not gonna clean yourself up in 10 days. Fuck that. It ain't gonna happen. It is about getting you some money. That's all it can do. 10 days and you're clean.
Like, wow.
I'm good. And what it is another way for folks to indulge, because after they do the detox, then they feel all right to indulge again, and then do another detox. You know what I mean? Because they keep indulging.
Right.
And so the detox thing. Why don't you detox? Do you ever hear about anybody detoxing mucusless? Like they detox
Yeah.
And then they become mucusless.
And then be mucusless.
For like 20 years, 30 years.
Yeah.
You don't hear about that.
Because
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We want to get ourselves to a point where we are mucusless. Then fruitarianism. There's a line that we can follow. My thing is, I've done enough work that I don't have to eat a lot of time of the year. So I can go long, long periods of time without eating. Drinking juice. Doing dry fasting. That's the way that I'm transitioning. That's the way it works out for me. That's the way it's very comfortable. See, that's the key, is it's very comfortable for me. That's a detox. So that whole thing, all these herbs, the master fast, this detox, all that's just some get your money type of charlatan shit. You dig? And what happens is a lot of cats come up with this stuff because they don't have anything else to sell.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like a package of, I mean, I
don't have anything to sell. Now, we have books. Primarily the books that we move have already been published.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's...
You dig?
The thing is, and the difference is, we talking about lifestyle, period. Lifestyle change. So if you want to do some, if you call it a detox, but if you're not talking about changing your lifestyle after whatever this thing is that isn't, it's probably not transition, ain't gonna work since you didn't transition.
We're saying that lifestyle now is culture.
Yeah.
We're about changing the culture.
What in the world? The wheat, well, hold on. 10-day grain detox. The 10-day grain detox.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. And then what do you
use? The 10-day body rest detox.
What do you use after the 10 days? What do you use to clean the grains up with?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
See, that's the problem with the detoxes is most of the detox stuff that they have you take. Now you got to spend time after you detox for 10 days or 5 days or whatever, cleaning that stuff up. Because you're not detoxing with apples. You dig?
Right.
You're not detoxing with oranges.
Yeah. You got concoctions, whatever.
Toxin
rid. 10-day This is toxin rid. 10-day detox. Money back guarantee. Get your money back, y'all. Get your money back. Come on now. This is just that. Now, if I did 21-day detox, that'd bring up a whole different bunch of products.
See, that's there. See,
it's 21-day detox.
It's a hustle, and everybody can come up with some concoction that will make you shit.
Right.
That made me man. I'm eliminating a lot. Yeah, I could come up with some shit that'll make you shit,
Right.
That don't necessarily mean that you cleaner. You dig? So, yeah, I mean, just look at it. I mean,
yogi detox, because all of the yogic masters would approve of something called the yogi detox.
Okay, so that's
for yoga lovers.
Yeah, that's aimed at the yoga lovers. Yeah, get your mat and lay down for 20 minutes.
Lay down for 20 minutes.
And detox with the yogi stuff, and so you could get in a pretzel position, and you'll feel all right, So I mean, look at all the stuff that they have, man. I mean,
sugar detox. So just eat all this fried whatever this stuff is. Meal prep ideas. So what? No fruit for 21 days and just all this whatever this stuff. All right.
Wow. But so I think we've turned a corner that doesn't really suit us. And like I say, if you want to detox, then And please let us know. Please write us after you detox with these different detox systems, and you stay mucusless or fruitarian for 20 years. We want to know about it, because then we'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, now you talking.
Yeah, because so if somebody puts something together, it's like, okay, this is the 10-day like I don't know. See, what way I would do something like that would be, it would be a transition with information. So it'd be like, okay, 10 day transition to, like, read the book, like read the material, that's your detox.
10 days to finish the book.
Yeah, 10 days to finish the book, and get into the information. And now, of course, the e-course, that's 8 weeks. And so we really deal with everything. And so I'm into really get this information, really understand this stuff, and change your mindset.
But what it does is it lets me know how many people are playing games with this culture change that we're trying to bring amongst ourselves and plug other people into. People are playing games.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be different about me. You're not going to have access to Brother Air like you used to. You know what I mean?
It's a new day now.
Yeah, that's over, because Professor Spira, he's good with telling me about, wasting my time. They be like, man, you wasted your time.
Yeah,
I'm giving folks, man, the benefit of the doubt.
And what he's talking about, so like
warrior type. I'm thinking they got warrior potential, and they're really gonna help get over this hump and build this community. And,
what he
just looking at me like, you're wasted.
That's a lot of time and energy, man.
And this is just numerous times. This hasn't happened once or twice or 3 times. It's like, because I embrace so many people and give them access. And so now that's no.
And and that's something that is, and we've been talking about it a while, and within the next couple months, we're going to drop it with the consultations with Brother Air. I
wasn't bringing that up to talk about that.
Well, yeah.
I'm just talking about where my frustrations are with dealing with people that are not serious.
Well, and to explain the context, because what Brother Air would do, so we have the Professor Arnold Air Mucusless Diet Healing System Facebook group, and every once in a while, all of a sudden, Brother Air he'll put his real phone number down. That's what I'm like, putting your phone number in the, okay?
Yeah.
Like, anybody, all right, but so he'll put his phone number in the group and be like, hey, I'm taking calls for the next couple hours. And then they talk to folks and that kind of stuff. Right. And that's super cool. But like you said,
and 1,000 people used to call up. And, I mean, it was off the chain, but it's nobody, it's like my frustrations are, I only want to deal with the serious, with the most serious. I don't have time to be playing in the sandbox. Well, I'm over here, I'm dipping and dabbing over here, I'm over in here, I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then, you don't know what you want to do. That's why none of these people, and I've tracked them, none of these people that I've tried to embrace have done anything but be very confused. From year to year, be very confused. They haven't finished anything. They haven't transitioned to anything. So my thing is, don't bother me, because I'm trying to get it together. This is all I do in life. This is how my life revolves around trying to reconstruct my bloodstream. If you're not talking about that, then, you know, on a serious level, and like I said, keep it to yourself. Yeah. Do the work, and we'll meet up somewhere.
Well, yeah, it becomes apparent. I mean, and that was, I mean, and I got that even when I started practicing the diet. There was months where on purpose I wasn't communicating with Brother Air because I was like, I felt that I knew that, okay, I already know no one's gonna take me seriously until I'm doing it for a while. And if I need something or if I have a serious question, I call, or I would, you know, like we said, I was doing the enema. I'm like, hey, you know, do the phone call thing. But I wasn't trying to hang yet. And once I got myself to a certain point, then it was just, then the hanging just was happening just because. And
because you're talking about people that's done given this thing 10, 20, 30, 40 years. See, we ain't just, we not like detox specialists in 3 years.
3 weeks.
You know, right. And we just went through a juice cleanse and shit. We think we know everything there is. What this is about the life that you live and that we live, and how to navigate. You know, we talked about the fall fund. That's some real shit. Mm. When you really are trying to get it together, you need to have a fall fund. Most people, you know, even though we've mentioned it before, most people are fall fund. No, this is serious shit. This is serious. This is how we think about it. And so, yeah, we are, we're really, and not that I'm not going to be gracious to people if they come into my midst. I'm not going to, you know, I don't have that kind of personality.
No. It's just, it's time, you know, everything's time to take everything up a notch. Yeah. And everything is more serious, is just getting more serious.
I know I have some information about how to transition to cleanliness. Put it like that. I'll say that. Because I know how to go years without eating. I know how to do that with no problem. Now, I practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I'm not claiming to be some old fake ass breatharian. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about those fake asses.
All right.
Who are charlatans, who are tricking the public in terms of their whole thing. The few that's come by my path, they've started out with this whole breatharian, I'm not eating, I'm not drinking, I'm a breatharian, blah, blah, all this bullshit. And so they go, and then you find out they're eating and they're drinking and they're fucking and they're doing the whole worldly thing. And their whole vibe is about having people sit around. And it's funny that the ones I run into, well, let's say the African Americans, they seem to gravitate towards this because it has that ghetto con element about it, that you can get white folks to sit up and you can be in the middle of all of them and shit, acting like you're like the king honcho,
right?
And say all this deep shit,
right?
You know, so those breatharians, look, I do what the fuck they do, that they claim they do. I do that, and I'm practicing the mucusless diet.
Right.
They claim that, well, when was the last time you eaten, breatharian? about a year ago. Wait a minute. Wait
yeah, right.
the fuck a minute. Wait a minute. You ate last year and shit. I do that shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Now, when the breatharians show up, who hasn't eaten for 20 years, who hasn't drank for 20 years, then that's when I will sit in his audience or her audience and be very attentive and really try to plug in. I ain't ran into that. And then think about it. That breatharian gonna be the fuck on YouTube. Man, get the fuck out of here. What the fuck, I'm a breatharian. I want to be fucking around with the YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck I'm gonna be doing, man, on goddamn it, YouTube. I'm a breatharian. I'm living on air, and Lord knows what else. It could be sound. It could be light. You dig what I'm saying? They're transitioning through all this, and they're gonna be fucking around talking about how do I get me a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is something he's very passionate about. I don't even care because
I get all that. I get that.
Yeah.
In my inboxes, I get that.
Yeah.
About fasting, about breatharianism.
Right.
I get that.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
Yeah. Because but it's, and yeah, I mean, and that's, I've gotten into trying to break it down in the way that I break these things down and kind of just defining things properly. That is where that whole thing, that's why I stopped just talking about it altogether. I just don't even bring that up. I
still get
don't even.
I still get it. I still get it.
Because the whole piece is,
as much as I say I'm not a breatharian.
Yeah.
How much can I say that?
Yeah. I mean, it's, that kind of is what it is, I guess, because it's still, you get in the inbox, but it's a small, I mean, people that's even into that whole concept is such a small group of people, right, of just sort of more, but overall, people ain't, it's like I said, if you want to talk about the body as an air gas engine and get into a serious discussion about what that actually means, what does that mean for our transition, what does that mean for our humanity, then I'm welcome to that. I'm welcome to that type of discussion. But yeah, once you get into the that kind of the breatharian discussions, the way that people talk about it. It's like, we have a band called the Breatharian Ensemble. There's a lot of bands that have a name that's the name of the band, and there's created a mythos that's around the band, and that's music, that's the band. Yeah. And so, but people, they take that. It's like, oh, everybody is in the breathing. Like, no, most of the people in the band practice Mucusless Diet Healing System. And then we got vegetarians in the band and Mucusless Diet practitioners, but it's the name of a band. And we, on purpose, changed the way it's spelled so that I could have that conversation when people come and say, oh, the breath. It's like, look, well, first of all, we don't even deal with it in the way conceptually that other people talk about it. So all the people out there talking about breatharianism, we ain't even in that. We talking about the body as an air gas engine and using a Mucusless Diet Healing System, transitional methodology, fasting methodology. You understand why you heal and how you truly cleanse, because the cleanse is about the oxygen process and getting oxygen into your body and actually utilizing it. And that's what all the cleanse people aren't talking about. They're focused on, well, let me drink this clay. Let me do this. Let me do that. And we're not focused on, let's get more oxygen throughout the entire body. Let's get this oxygen to transform the bloodstream. And so I mean, it's a situation where you get a lot of them messages because you kind of because you're doing what you're doing and people are not very well versed on that whole concept or just what it means and to really hear our take on it. But that's why years ago, I had to do a lot of disclaimers and just kind of, as I started to see that people were taking, even with Brother Air talking about what he was doing, they would take it in the wrong way where they're almost watching it like it's some kind of competition or something like, okay, this man is doing this, which means, and this is what gets under my skin, is this sense of entitlement that so many people in these healing diets and this detox realm have. What I mean by sense of entitlement is feeling as if you see somebody doing something or you hear, like, for example, Brother Air talking about what he's doing, and you feel entitled to that. Just because he's a human and you're human, I should be able to do that tomorrow. I mean, I've seen that time and time again. These are the people that do all this extreme stuff, no transition. They didn't ask him what he did for the past 30, 40 years. They just said, oh, he hasn't eaten and he's doing these long fasts, so I can do that too. No, you're not entitled to the work that he put in for 30, 40 years to do what he's doing. And you don't have to do what he's doing even if you do practice Mucusless Diet for 30, 40 years. He's taking it where he wants to take it. This is a tool. The information in the book is a set of tools that you can use to meet whatever your goal is. And I don't put out some kind of dogmatic type of message of what everybody's goal is supposed to be. You got to figure that part out yourself based on your studies, based on your analysis, what you're trying to do with your life, what you're trying to do with your bloodline. I do encourage you to think in terms of bloodline.
That's it. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story right there. We're talking about the blood. If you're talking about health, humans, hybrid humans, you're talking about blood. What you were talking about as far as the privilege, would that be a form of white privilege for even black people? You know what I mean? It's like that kind of privilege because that entitlement.
Entitlement, right.
And even black folks have this delusion of this entitlement. Well, I can do that.
Right.
I was eating egg bones and mashed potatoes yesterday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go a year just doing this or just eating fruit.
Right.
Yeah,
the way I think that even belittles it to even take it into that modern, because this is like an ancient context, which is the development of one's character and ethics and learning the virtues of being humble. And that's what I don't see. I don't see ain't no one out there that's doing that humble type of piece.
Being patient and understanding about the life we live. The life we live. Live. Is the word. Live.
Yeah.
You gotta live a little bit. You just can't turn over in bed and all of a sudden you're a new person.
Right.
It takes a minute to understand what's going on, how you this is another thing, as far as how does the larger society get things done in the society, in the communities, and how do they get things done, the larger society? What's the mechanism? And most people say, well, they vote or whatever. No, the main thing is they complain.
Well, yeah.
They complain. And we got to start being complainers if we want this culture. to become a culture. We got to start complaining. Now, when I say complain, you say, "Whoa, all right, brother, what do you mean complain?" I'm talking about when you at your house and they barbecuing next door and you smell that shit coming through your window. And complain.
Yeah.
And it probably ain't gonna go nowhere, but it's putting stuff in their This is how the society, how the deaf, dumb, and blind work. If you put it in their conscious.
They you force them to deal with
it.
Because they can't ignore it.
They can't ignore it. Now it's in their conscious. Now it's, so once you start complaining, we gotta be complainers on a lot of levels. We gotta be complainers. Just like they start complaining about smoking in bars. Mm-hmm. We can't smoke in bars no more.
Right. Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, because wasn't that long ago you smoke.
Right, we experienced that.
Yeah,
we were even going to clubs, playing in clubs where they smoked. Yeah. Then all of a sudden.
It was like, then it would be like you would smoke, then they would move you to another room, like this is the smoking room. And then it was like, now you got to go outside.
We got to complain, man. We got to be complainers with the families. And this is the problem I'm having. Is I know people are close to their families. And when you're trying to get it together, you can't go to the Thanksgiving meals or the Christmas meals and be the life of the fucking party. You just you just can't, man. And that's what's happening, is that some people are all right with being the only plant-based person in the room. That's enough.
Right.
That's enough. But see, that's how detox are toxic. We hear that word toxic. Oh, they're toxic. Mm-hmm. That's how that toxic. Once you're around a lot of toxic people like that, then slowly but surely, because it's the silent killer. You can't smell it. Mm-hmm. But all of a sudden, well, I'm vegetarian and I'm vegan. I'm plant-based. Then all of a sudden, you hanging with your family. You trying to be the loved one, and oh man, I love Auntie.
Yeah.
Auntie and Uncle Boo Boo and whoever. And the next thing, you trying some of the homemade cheese.
And
Uncle Boo Boo made down in Georgia.
Right. And some apple pie. There's apples in it.
Well, there's apples in it. So now you rationalizing all this shit. And so it's like the silent killer done got you again. You don't smell it, but you keep putting yourself in them places, and you don't have any kind of boundaries. Now, I know Professor Spira, he does I think the Christmas go say hello to the family deal.
Yeah.
He'll do that. He'll come down and he'll say, because his family's in another city, so he comes down into that city, and then he'll end up playing music all day with one of
my nephew plays.
And so they'll go into another room, and they know that he's coming after they done ate, and after they sitting around farting and shit and doing all that. So that's how he deals with it.
Yeah, but but the thing's killing. I made a very, very strong stance on that. I ain't participating in that at all. I mean, that's the least that we can do. I mean, just on some kind of, you fashion yourself some kind of revolutionary, or you do protest or whatever.
Well, complain about having so many fast foods in your neighborhood. Hell, we complain about the people selling 40s and shit.
Yeah.
All those little mom and pop stores selling 40s. People complain about that. So let's complain about having McDonald's and a Wendy's and a White Castle and shit. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and so complaining.
And there's a couple cities that have banned fast food even in this country.
And that's the model. That's the model. How did they do it? If we serious about this kind of living, then how did they do it?
Right.
You see, so I'm talking about being very serious now. This is it for Brother Air now. I done took it up another level now. I'm serious. Don't fuck with me. If you ain't serious, because I ain't playing no games now. I'm tired of all the little, niceties and well, I'm into this today, and I'm not. No. It's if we're gonna do consultations, we can do that. See, and I had to get to that point where I was just totally against that proposition, because I said I can do this and I can just give it away. And in my giving, I get. That's just the way I think. That's the way I live. And I still live like that. But no one has respect for the information, it seems, until they pay for it.
Yeah, I mean that's just the orientation. I mean, it is what it is. You ain't gonna change that at this moment.
What it is.
It is what it is.
I got some information about how to do this shit and how and things that you will go through in life, and that you can prepare, and you have a different physiology to experience. So I'm learning from that. But there's some basic things that all of us have to go through in terms of transition.
Yeah.
Just the basic things that we have to deal with.
And one of my things has been to find ways that best suit Brother Air, to kind of put him in a situation where he can get into the stuff he wants to get into. And I think one thing we're going to do later this year is some webinars with Brother Air.
Right.
So I think that'll be a good forum where, it's a private space. Because that's something I've been looking a lot at recently, is just privacy and sort of private versus public, and that dynamic.
Well, you can't have that much access to us no more.
Well, it's just
that's over.
There's just so many reasons to do more things private, and so we're going to be setting things up over next couple months, that creating more private spaces where we can where we totally get rid of the filter, where, because as I try to explain this sometimes to people, where there's certain topics and there's things that I don't talk about or don't get into on YouTube, because I don't want the information to get taken out of context. But with the proper background and context, then and in a private space where people say, okay, this is the deal. At least I feel more comfortable, in that type of situation. Going off, because you can go to the old stuff. You can see where we used to, where we just the old radio shows and stuff. We was just, you talk about no filter. I go and listen back to some of those, and I'm about to post them, and then I'm like, radio. Man, yeah, and that was radio. We had a guideline But the difference was, at that point, that was like the shock and awe era, where you just trying to get people's attention because they can't, just wake up. It's like, wake up. Now there's people that woke up, but they're taking too much to the extremes, and so I had to rein it in.
They're not getting anywhere. It's one thing. See, what we want is, if you're practicing the mucusless diet, we want progression. We want you to progress.
Yeah.
We want you to really progress, where you can share through your physiology. What did you go through? What is this like? Because We dealing with cravings. That's what I developed the Brother Air salad around my craving.
And those are the things that I still, I mean, there's a whole there's so much transitional information and ideas and ways to think that we have to offer, but it's like the interest is still not there, because the interest is still in the fasting or the fruit periods or all of that stuff. But I'm still waiting for like real detailed type of questions that really get into transitional methodology.
But that only comes with the practice of the mucusless diet.
Right.
Because we know those catchwords.
We know those questions.
We know when you're doing this shit.
Yeah.
We know because you're gonna say the right things.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like boom, and you can believe if I hear the right things, you're gonna believe I'm gonna tell Professor Spira about, hey man, this is so and so is that's the way we talk.
Yeah.
This is our conversation. This is what gets us excited, that people are really getting it together and transitioning it and getting over humps. You dig? It's great to see folks getting over humps. And so yeah, man, things have to always kind of elevate. This period at Mucus-free-Life.com, this is about elevation. We thank you for getting it here.
Yeah.
But now we here.
Yeah, now this is the big push now.
Yeah, we ready to blow up now. We ready to blow up. We ain't talking about money. We talking about blow up in terms of culture.
Yeah.
In terms of plugging people in to changing the culture. Let's become complainers. Let's get some. That's how you get things done.
Yeah.
That's how you get shit done. Hell, you hear Professor Spira out on the street playing. You don't like his shit. What you do? Complain. And the next thing you do is a police is showing up.
The police
with
walking over.
One motherfucker who complain while you playing for thousands of people
that all dancing. Yeah.
One motherfucker make a call.
And the guy, because the guy that will shut us down has a gun. Because there's people that try to shut us down that don't have a gun. And don't have a license to, and it's like, get out of my face, man. Get out of here, man, with that. You playing, you need to go do what you're doing.
And, I've dealt with them. I'll be like,
just like,
I'll wait until the man with the gun comes.
Yeah, we will wait, and so, so that's that. Now there's one thing, this might be a good time to do, which I haven't told Brother Air about this yet, and I'm pretty sure he's not seen this video. So we're gonna do a Brother Air reaction video to some crazy video that I saw. Like, it's got 15 million views. It's on YouTube. It was on Facebook.
I mean, that don't surprise me.
It don't, yeah. And so I think it's supposed to be some kind of modern art piece. I don't know, whatever. It's perfect for the state of the mucus address, because this is the society here. We gonna get this going. Let me in fact I'm gonna play some different music behind it, because I don't want. All right, hold on. All right, so this is gonna be a total reaction video. It's Brother Air, and okay, one second. Gotta try to get all this stuff. All right, so here we go. This should be fun. So, what's your reaction, Brother Air?
My reaction to it is always when I find something that tickles Professor Spira. That is my reaction. Is one of my reactions, because when something tickles him, it's funny. You know, so I'm like, I always trip when I see him laughing, like something really, you know. So, oh man. Man, I mean, there was a lot of stuff on there. Do they say anything about what they're trying to do, or?
No, and I found the original video, because the original video was on YouTube, and then some other thing on Facebook put it up, and it went viral on Facebook. I think it's just like a modern art
that's
thing, you know, but there's no like
gluttoncy.
It didn't have that. I read, it didn't say nothing about that. It was just like a self portrait with food, or it was something like that.
Well, I mean, it was just the whole inundated.
Yeah.
You know, it's just inundated with all kind of bad food. I did see some lemons. I seen some
there was some oranges and stuff,
but oranges. You know, I seen a few things, and I seen the purging thing. You know, so. Maybe we could get them to come to Auto Air Day.
Come do a demonstration. But that's
Auto Air Day, yeah.
But that's always the stuff. Let's see. There's because I always like to try to get people to see the world that we see. But since it's so common to just eat pus and mucus and to go to, it's like sometimes you have to look at these extremes that even make pus and mucus eaters kind of like, what? Yeah. That's what, you know. And there's just such an inundation, because when we talk about changing the culture, it's what we talk about, because this is the culture. This is pus and mucus culture. So I looked at, there's all these different videos that have like vomit alert. If you look up vomit alert, there's all these different of people that are just gluttonizing, and they're eating old like rotten food, or they're eating. Then this was what the hell? When this came up, these guys, these two men are in a bathtub eating spaghetti.
I don't even want to see it, man.
You know, I mean, but this is how this is how pus and mucus society looks to us all the time. Like, just the logic of it looks like this. This is what it looks like.
The modus operandi. This is how they function.
This is how they function. This, you know, fun. That video has 4 million views,
and we love it.
Yeah,
we love it.
Yeah,
we love it. Oh man, this is just great. He gave those guys a YouTube career.
Yeah. You know, and I used to do there's that guy that eats anything, that what was his name, Shoe Shine or Shoe Nice or something, and he eats he used to eat glue, and he would drink like Elmer's glue on there and stuff. And
we love it. We love seeing that.
So but this is what we talking about, that transition. There's you know, there's maybe a couple YouTube channels that have even talked about the Mucusless diet at all. But, you know, there's inundation of this. So the transition is needing to get to the point where is serious content being created, because there's a lot of vegan stuff, but again, there's no depth to it. There's no real purpose behind it, other than we'll just
I put all
make people feel good. You know,
I lump all the breatharian stuff into that too. It's the same old foolishness.
Right.
Just foolishness. You know, and we're inundated with foolishness. And You know, and that's what it really is about, is people expressing those adolescent passions. Inside of the mucusless diet or the vegan-based, plant-based life, they still have a lot of adolescent passions that they feel that, you know, that are grown up. You know, they feel like they're grown up doing this, or going here, or being a part of this. And so, you know, it's just adolescent passions. And so all that is adolescent passions. Who watches it? Well, Professor Spira.
I'm the social scientific, you know, the social scientist of pus and mucus culture. You know, I'm conducting research, and studies, because it is something, and I've done that for years, but because that I've went periods where I was totally sheltered myself away from all of that. But then when it became time for me to really be an educator in this context, in this situation, you know, I want to be able to communicate with people and know what I'm dealing with, and know what we're all dealing with.
Let me know about all the so-called health gurus that's out there that's pushing a certain pivot or diet.
Like I try to keep I keep abreast of what's going on. You know, when people, you know, usually somebody asks me about something, or, you know, I'll see that something that's getting some kind of publicity or something, I'll check into it and see what's going on.
Hey, I wanted to ask Michael. This was interesting. Michael, what's Michael's last name?
Fat Hour.
Fat Hour.
Yeah.
Okay, I always pronounce it wrong. That's why I asked you, where I make sure I didn't just destroy. Michael, when did we start this fast? So could you like hit me up and tell me where? Because I done forgot.
Oh, you guys started at the same.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Remember when I don't know.
Yeah, I
for
remember you.
Some help. I was like, I was starting and stopping.
Yeah, I think, and you would,
and then
you
I
would
went
post
onto
it
the
up.
group page, and I was like, man, let's all start fasting at the same time. You know, that got me started. But I don't remember when it was, man. So I was just trying to remember, you know, as I was coming up here today, I was thinking, when did I start this fast? I literally couldn't remember. I kind of put that stuff out of my mind.
Yeah.
You know, it just be about day to day, because I'm not some masochist, you know, the gnashing of the teeth. Like, if it was watermelon season, I would come off the fast.
Right.
I'm telling you. I mean, that's just where my
I mean, this is a good time to fast, because this has been a rough little period, because this is right before we get a lot of the good fruit in this area. At least we'll get the spring stuff like in a couple weeks, but these past several weeks have been rough.
For years, I have been doing it all ass backwards, because I was coming off. Yeah. I was coming off like, you know, around my birthday in December.
And eating in the wintertime.
And it with no fruit. So I changed it up this last year, and I said, man, I'm coming off with the fruit. Right? At least if I'm gonna be eating, I want to have access to fruit.
Right.
So it just made sense, and you know, it wasn't making no sense, because I was just fasting. You know, I was just going as long as I felt comfortable. Right. And then on my Earth Day, that would kind of be my, we would do it, you know, because it would be your Earth Day. Right. Okay, man, we're going to do this, you know, on our Earth Days or whatever. And so, that's how that goes. Yeah. But,
and so for those of y'all that's just tuning in, real quick, go over what some of those links are down below. If you want to stay plugged in, be a part of the new Insiders Club reboot, sign up. You get mucus-free recipes, menu planning report and food in my top 10 mucus-free foods list. There's a link down below for that. And also highly recommend, take advantage right now. We got the book bundles. You get all of our books, all 7 of the books. You get the ultimate everything package.
Buy bundles. Buy bundles.
Yes, that's gonna be the jingle.
Buy bundles.
So if you get the ultimate everything bundle, that's the paperbacks, PDFs, MP3s of Mucusless Diet Healing System, audiobook.
Get the system.
And I autograph for a limited time for the ultimate everything package. I autographed the annotated Mucusless Diet and Spira Speaks.
And I put like a thumbprint and shit on that.
Yeah, we put the Brother Air thumbprint on there. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then we got Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. And right now we're having the spring sale. So if you if you want to get the books and the e-course, and I would say get the bundle, and then you have an opportunity to upgrade your order to the and that would be cheaper for you to do it that way. But if you only want the e-course, then I would say this is what you want to do right now. This spring sale 2019 is not going to get cheaper than this again. So that's an additional 20% off of the what's already a discounted price on there. And so if you want to learn more about what is in the e-course and all that, you can go to the link, and there, we got a little sales page here that goes over what's all in the e-course and that kind of thing. And so that's what's going on. It's time to. I'm just excited to have people really get deeper into this information and elevate the practice, and just that's what's needed now is elevation of the practice. You know, we're not satisfied with just say, okay, there's a bunch of people that read the book kind of thing. It's like, nah, the book is meant to be a tool. And another thing about the e-course that I'm happy to do is understand that the original Mucusless Diet Healing System book was actually not meant to be a standalone book. It was a handout or a textbook for a course that Arnold Ehret was teaching in person. And that course at that time in 1922 was $100, which for inflation, that's over $1,500 today if you were to take Arnold Ehret's course. And so I know,
and that's low.
Oh yeah, yeah, for the information. I mean, he was just saving so many people's lives. There's thousands of people, that went to his thing. But here I got this is the Fred Hirsch's certificate. So this is the old, the old school. That's the certificate that Fred Hirsch got. This is the certificate of completion. You go through Mucusless Diet Healing System e-course. You get the little completion. And then you can tell people you went through the e-course. It's not a certification course. That's not what it is. But it's it's a course, and you can say, hey, I went through it. If you went through it.
And he had to explain that to me because he know how I am about the certification. But Professor set me down and said, okay, this is what this is, because I was like, man, that's something that we eventually we're gonna do some kind of certification, but to get your degree, you had to pass through the panel. you're gonna have to we will have, and I don't know for how many of y'all that have experienced graduate school and you had to write a thesis or some kind of document, dissertation or something. You have a panel of people and you have to defend that document. And you gotta come hang.
Yeah.
I
mean,
that's the difference with this. This just ain't on pencil and paper and across the desk. You gotta come hang.
Yeah.
That's another part of this thing. We ain't never had no problem going to hang.
Yeah.
With folks. I mean, we get out and there was a time we were always hunting, man, and going someplace and hanging, man. So now, you got to come hang, man. And that would be a good way to come to the Arnold Eric Day. Because we're going to be there.
Yeah.
And you can come and hang.
Yeah. I mean, that's the that's the no-brainer,
Come to Arnold Eric Day and come and hang, man, and just, you can ask, and, we're going to have, hopefully we're going to have more presentations this year, more, and not so much, well, it's going to be about the Mucusless diet, but we're going to have other things that's not pertaining to the Mucusless diet, but just on living better.
Yeah.
Living more rational, all different
subjects. I mean, it's a topic because we want it to be a serious summit, where you leave with some serious information
so that you might can leave and go to the tropics.
Yeah.
And understand how to set yourself up.
Right.
In the tropics. And how to do this, and how to build this, and how to plant this, and how. So that's where we're
and bringing in experts, different, that know stuff we don't know, bring all these different people together.
We deal with the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Yeah. That's my forte. Is the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Music.
I mean, that's what we do.
That's
anyway.
What we do.
That's
so,
but I mean, to build, to start putting the pieces together to really seriously build the community. Because we've always said, I mean, we're patient and not interested in rushing anything. And so when it's time to build something, it's going to be permanent. It ain't going to be like, okay, I saved up enough money for a plane ticket. Let's go. It's like, nah, man, that's not how this is done.
And we're talking about the healing village.
Yeah.
We're gonna have that one day. That's gonna be a reality. That's what the end result of all this is about. Is trying to because we need it for our development. You dig what I mean?
Right.
We need that kind of environment for our development, for us to keep elevating, and those humps, keep getting over those humps. So that's what we are, the whole visionary thing, and we're gonna build it. I mean, we've done everything else that we said we were gonna do, and we're gonna do that. We would love for all the cats to be a part of it, and just plug in and let's get it together, So
yeah.
But the theme for 2019 is complain. that's what from Brother Air to you.
And so now the fun part will be to see how people misunderstand that.
I know. But I mean, I'm not talking about complain. I'm talking about, pick your spots. You know what I mean? It's like.
I mean, the way I would put it would be, assert yourself. And assert your reality.
Yes.
Don't let people walk over you, all over you. Don't feel timid and and sheepish about being who you are.
Go to your next door neighbor and tell her, or tell him. Say, like your smoked poke butts is killing me. They coming in my window. I can smell this. Could you shift the smoke over to the east side of the...
Yes, put the smoke into your house. Just funnel that into your house with a big...
So, I mean, and that's just one complaint, but there's a lot of different ways to complain, man. And we're talking about changing the psyche. They have to hear it. That's why even when we bus, we go out and bus, and I'm telling you, when I have a sign and tell people what to do, they do it. Because you got to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
This is deaf, dumb, and blind and shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And we were a part of that. We like just kind of opening our eyes.
Yeah.
Like this, you know, we you know, just a little bit. We just there. So we were part of the deaf, dumb, and blind. And so, you know, when you try to elevate yourself and try to regenerate yourself on this level, and you're using what you're putting in your mouth, and that's really about control. We're talking about people with the most control and consistency. You got to be consistent. That's how things work. That's how you get things done. That's how you know things, is that you're consistent. If you're not consistent, then rarely do you know anything about what you're doing. And so, you know, with over 30 years of doing enemas every day, I know about doing lemon enemas. I know about that. I can tell you some stuff about that. Being very consistent. So that's what I'm trying to push, man, is people to be very consistent and know the stuff. Just don't have this idea about how you feel about it. You know, I don't know how I feel about it. But you know how you feel about Professor Spira and Brother Air. You know, I don't like them. You know, and it's like this with us, is we find that the people either like us or they hate us.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground with us.
Yeah.
There's not somebody to say, well, I can take them or leave them, you know.
Yeah. There's usually a strong reaction in one direction or the other.
Yeah, right. And I guess we like that because it's very clear. It becomes very clear, you know, where you can see, well, okay, you know, don't go over here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna open the door at the end for you over here. So you pretty much know. So.
And I want to thank everybody that's I've been reading the comments. You know, we don't have a whole lot of time to. There's not a whole lot of questions. There's a few that popped up as
let's hear a few questions.
Talk. Let's see here. And let's see. I'll read a few of these.
Did Michael ever send that information?
No, I don't think I saw him pop up on here. But
he might.
See, Paul he said, Professor Spira is a modern legend. Thanks very much for sharing the wealth of knowledge that everybody needs. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, man. Let's see, G says, I needed this all fruit juice for a while, and it's so easy to want to fall off the rails. Need the state of the mucus addressed to stay strong.
Oh, okay.
I was like, all right,
cool,
you know.
man.
Doing what you're doing, man. This is the real revolutionary work. This is our version of what our ancestors did with the various movements and basically asserting themselves and saying we're not going to take this anymore and changing the society, changing the world, changing the culture. This is that for us. This is how you do it.
We're sick of the death culture.
Because there's none of those things is out there. We've talked about this before, but none of those movements are going to do nothing. No. They all end up the same place because pus and mucus eating is at the foundation of them. So, whether it's a Black Lives Matter or whatever it is, it ain't going nowhere.
Play it in the sandbox. Just play it in the sandbox.
Yeah.
The revolution starts with controlling what you put in your mouth.
Yeah. Yep. And then what I say, I rhymed. I need. It's one of my quotes. You know, we will never be free as long as we're filthy.
Yeah.
You know, as long as we filthy, we just you know, slavery is the only way that we can live in that context. There's a couple people saying, "Good evening, Mucusless family. What's going on?" Let's see. G asks, how do you find the strength to dry fast? I am so addicted to always eating. Do you ease into it over time? Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you're the. I mean, well, I don't dry fast that often. You know, I have, but that's not my forte. I
don't know if you have to look for strength. It's just the right time.
The right time and the mechanics.
The mechanics are right for me to dry fast. I wanted to dry fast before I did this. I mean, I was fasting.
Yeah.
So
and
that's be a little clearer.
And generally, you know, we don't teach people to dry fast because I don't advocate dry fasting because that's not a part of the Mucus Diet Healing System. Yeah, that's over and above. That's like when you feel moved to do that. You know, at that point
this is after you done went through the transition and you hook up a consultation with Brother Air, and we can talk about that.
You know, the next level. Yeah,
so,
next level. But
that's where we're going with that now.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be like Professor Spira said, I used to just get on the group and say, man, call me up. Let's talk about the mucusless diet.
Yeah.
You know, and it got to, you know, it was like, he's
but I would say, you know, consult this. You want the rational fasting. You know, there's a couple the fasting lessons in the mucusless diet, but
that's where you go.
This is where you go right
that's
here. This is the methodology
on rational fasting. How to rationally fast.
Yeah, our operative word, rational. Yeah, that's what's so different about what we doing and talking about, and everybody else is out here with their.
And we're trying to get off of mucus and pus.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not replacing it with great old down south meals that are soy based. We got to stop that
cycle. The one? The one now is the deep fried cauliflower with hot sauce and you know, like making it like wing, you know, cauliflower buffalo wings. You know, come on,
I know people are getting paid. You dig?
Well, and people are getting high, you know. I mean, it's like, people get, it's like people getting paid, but they getting high, you know. They're like, man.
High, and so, look, even though it might have some taste to that, to the buffalo wings, the fake buffalo wing. And the cauliflower tastes how it tastes, and you spice up but it ain't no damn way they taste like buffalo wings.
Right.
They just, no. You know, and the buffalo wings kind of came long before, like, you know, I never got into buffalo wings, but you did.
Yeah, I mean,
Now, a buffalo wing that you ate, could you imagine a cauliflower tasting like the buffalo wings that you ate?
But the way they do it is the breading, and that's when you realize, like, that's really. So honestly, they can get kind of close to the way it tasted, because what people like, and this was the thing that I had to learn on the mucusless diet.
Yeah, but it's not cauliflower no more.
What people,
you're breading it.
Well, but that's what they doing. They take the cauliflower, bread it with the same stuff that you would bread the chicken with, deep fry it, or fry it in a pan or something, and get the hot sauce out, and it tricked folks to thinking that they eating the real thing.
I know we have slews and slews of vegan restaurants that are making stuff that,
which is a new phenomenon, that
over the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And they're coming up with all this stuff, and people that don't really dig into the levels of holistic health think that they're doing a little better by eating in these places.
Right.
We gotta label it what it is. It's glorified mucus.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Glorified mucus. We practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. You want to get off of pus and mucus.
Yeah.
Some people would say, well, you use this stuff for transition, but that's some bullshit. Because they ain't going into it with that transition mentality.
Type of mentality, yeah.
They not going into it, and they not teaching their patrons about like, hey, check out the buffalo wings. Don't get too used to them though, because we want you to move on away from that.
Yeah. I mean, if you check,
No, they're not
doing
like
that. Yeah.
They're talking about eat this shit as long as you can come and sit up on our tables and pay for it. Eat this shit. And so, I've said it before, we've never seen as big vegans and vegetarians than we've ever. I mean, we got literally vegans and vegetarians wearing 300 pounds, 250.
Right. Right.
So we know that, and we're not talking about not transitioning away from mucus.
I mean, it's a mentality that needs to be accepted and gotten into, because with the right mentality,
we've turned that corner.
Yeah,
we've turned that bad corner where we've where it's almost like we can't come back.
Yeah, because historically there is this degeneration of this terminology. Anytime you have a dietary term, it always degenerates. The term vegetarian originally meant no animal products, originally. And then there was these arguments and then somebody redefined it and said, well, no, vegetarian means some vegetables, but we're also going to have eggs and cheese involved. Then in 1944, the word vegan is invented. Because they had been arguing about that amongst the people, the definition makers and the term creators. They were arguing about this, and the cat said, hey, look, we're going to create our own word and our own definition, and this is what it is. Now, you look at now, there's the arguments and the things that's happening with that terminology. So it's always on decline anytime you have these concepts. That's why the way we talk about it, and we've put a lot of thought and consciousness into the way we talk about these things and the terminology, the definitions. We practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I'm not mucusless. Maybe today I am, or yesterday, or I've been mucusless for big periods of time, but I practice the Mucusless Diet Healing System. It's a system. And that is a total change of consciousness, is a whole different way to look at what we're doing. And it gives you a thought process and an orientation that can set you up for success. Because with these other terms, it's like you slip and then you're out. You know, it's like, oh, you ate such and such. Oh, well, now you're shamed. And then somebody had wanted me to suggested I do a video. There was this a popular vegan woman that I guess she made her living as a vegan YouTuber, and she got caught eating fish and chips or something at a restaurant. And so she had to do like a confession video. I didn't watch it. I actually didn't watch the video.
That's what we were talking about earlier about going around the family.
Yeah. That's how that happened.
We can't see you around the family, but you claiming all this vegan plant-based bullshit.
Yeah.
But then when you get around the family and you hanging and you going on the cruise and all this, you know what I mean? Come on, man. It's like you have to understand that your environment and your locomotion
and the thing is, but
changes.
That's and what I try to get over to people is because they'll look at sometimes the way we come, they look at it like it's hardcore until you get into it and you realize, now wait a minute, this is the relapses are built into the methodology. I ain't never come down hard on somebody because they relapsed or made them feel bad because they never, because we've been there and we've been honest about it.
Look, I mean that whole thing of the practice is there's only one way to do this thing. There's not many ways to reconstruct the blood.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not many ways.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm so adamant, because I've been looking for many ways, and now since Professor Spira, I kind of leave him to look for the many ways. He turns me on to something if it's new. Check this out, you know, and we look at it. But at one point I was trying to find out, like, you know, okay, what's new on the horizon?
Right.
There is no other method. There is no other way to reconstruct the bloodstream other than transitioning away from mucus and pus rationally and logically through cleansing. You have to have and you got to be consistent. That's the problem. Is consistency. That goes all through the whole society. Is this society has no discipline. And you inside the mucusless diet, the whole holistic world, the whole black consciousness, all of that have no discipline. You have no discipline. And believe me, I know, I see you. And I see you behind closed doors. I can feel you, I know. And I'm talking about, I done seen people for years and years getting it together. Next thing you know, they eating meat. What would make somebody feel so bad? Let's check that out. What would make somebody feel so bad that you would get to a point where you say, to feel better, I need to eat some raw meat. I've never eaten raw meat before, but to feel better, I need to eat some raw meat. Now that's done happened with people inside our little camp. And we see it, you know, people post up, and then we get demonized because we stayed on our post.
Right.
But how sick can you be to get to a point where you're feeling so bad and this is the whole problem. Not being patient.
Not being patient, not transitioning.
Not transitioning, that you would want to get in some ice cold ass water. The fuck was that about? What would stimulate you to make you think like, I will feel better getting in some ice cold fucking water? I'm gonna feel better after I come out of here.
I don't have an answer for that.
I'm just trying to figure this shit out.
I mean,
have you ever been stimulated through your transition to be in a situation where you said, man, right now, I need to get in some freezing, ice cold ass water to merge myself. That would make me get over this hump.
No, that's not.
I've never been stimulated like that. To that point, I'm done. I'm into the transition. We seeing things, man, that's not very clear, and that people are not patient. And you know, we have to start breaking it down to the uric acid stimulant.
Yeah. Well, and that's why
the mucus and pus stimulant.
Yeah,
of how the highs and how they.
And for people that don't even know what we're talking about, first read the book. But I got several videos on YouTube where I break down in specificity exactly what uric acid, or what Eric calls a lean type. You know, we've kind of evolved and attached uric acid to it, but he's talked lean type and fat type, and we call it uric acid type or mucus type is kind of a terminology. But understanding these different body types is so crucial to understanding the type of transition that you need to plan for yourself, and having a realistic expectation of the speed with which you will do your transit, all that stuff. At the foundation of that is really understanding your body type. And I don't see people taking that seriously at all. You know, as much as I've talked about it and it keeps coming up, it's not something that people are really doing a detailed study of.
You gotta identify yourself.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to identify yourself. You know, I don't know how soon inside of as you practice the mucusless diet that you can identify yourself as a uric acid or mucus and pus type.
I can tell people immediately. I can look at them, or I can hear, or they can tell me what they ate, and that's not hard at all. But you got to study it and understand it, right, you know, and kind of, you know, really. But the implication is that's the easy part. The challenging part is for uric acid. What I've seen for the lean type or uric acid type is accepting. See, that's the hard part for folks, is accepting what it means to be these different types, because it explains why there's a propensity for people that have the lean type to want to do the extremist fruit only eating right off the bat with no transition.
Yes.
That can be explained
yes.
by way of, because I don't see a whole lot, there's not a lot of mucus type of people that do that. That's oftentimes uric acid types of folks that do that. And there's a reason for that physiologically. And when you study and you learn that reason and you identify yourself as being a uric acid type and you see yourself going in that direction, you can make the proper adjustments so that you don't get caught in that trap. But every day people, that's a huge piece that people, and reason that people are falling off the wagon right now, is people that have uric acid type of physiology that are trying to do these more extremist things without any transition. And And like I said, I talked about this. Well, I mean, we've talked about this for years and years, but on videos, I specifically said like 5 or 4 years ago, I said that within the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to see people dropping off and they're going to be going all the way back and it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
And the reason I said that was because I saw it coming because there was way too much extremism, way too much people trying to be nothing but fruit or do these long 40-day fasts or 40-day water fast or 21-day juice cleanses with no transition. And people doing these things and not having one inkling of understanding of transition diet. I mean, having not read the Mucusless Diet or anything, or if they read it, they just, all they saw was Eric talking about humans are fruit eaters, you know, and so that was a big problem, and it's still a big problem. But that is, you know, but that explains that. If you're mucus type, and all of a sudden, you know, you find yourself at 2 a.m. at a supermarket with some you know, some soy burgers and some, you know, some ketchup and vegan mayonnaise in your cart, that your body type can explain that.
Or,
you know,
or 3 o'clock in the morning and you buying peanut butter and
peanut butter and jelly and some wheat bread.
Yeah.
You know, he says that's part of the story. That's part of the transition story. You know, the transition. You know, understand and you apply the methods, but it's gonna get messy. You know, it's not gonna be perfect. You set it up so that you can put yourself in the best position for success. But then understanding how the system works is what kicks in gear when you find yourself having strange cravings or find yourself in these, you know, in a position where you have some uncontrollable type of craving.
Because the cravings are nothing more than poison. It's nothing more than craving poison.
Yeah.
That's all these cravings are. So the way you define poison is those vegan burgers with the salad dressing and the you know, you having a craving for Frisch's Big Boy. Yeah. But you ain't quite there yet as far as going back to meat.
Yeah. The one thing I like to say about the transition is you want to permanently change your physiology so it's impossible to go back to certain things. So that when you're off of something, you're really off of it.
You're really off of it.
You ain't craving it. You don't want it.
But that's where no other system even comes close.
Talks like that. Yeah.
Even comes close to having that kind of system of how to do that and being done with it.
Yeah.
Some people crave. Well, I crave the meat. You know, they still crave the meat. I've never craved meat. I mean, I've just never contemplated eating meat. I mean, it's, you know, so yeah, man, I mean, it's
yeah.
You know what you said that we were gonna talk about, and I was like, yeah, let's. Remember we were talking about the words, the words that the gurus use.
Yeah. God, God, yeah. This is God and goddess-ism or goddess-ease. It's like a language.
Goddess-ease, you know, and the divines and the
divinities.
Yeah, all these. I mean, we hear the gurus using all this kind of mouthpiece that talks about all the you know, it's words, you know, the vibration and the
right
and the frequencies and the Not that those words can't be applied in its proper context,
Right.
but now it's just about, like if you're standing in front of an audience and you're using all these words,
Yeah.
you can't ever check it. You can't say, wait a minute.
So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I make this joke that's kind of like, you can pick one of these words that's often overused by some of these type
divine.
of folks. Yeah, let's say divine. So what you do is, if you look it up in the thesaurus, you can pretty much just list these words with a certain articulation and intonation, and it's gonna sound like the way that they sound. So they'll be talking about like, in the divine, spiritual, supernatural, transcendent, heavenly, eternal, celestial, marvelous, and mystical, sacred goddess energy, or whatever. I mean, so just a string of words.
and folks be eating it up. They'd be like,
yeah.
It'd be like, wow, she must be deep.
right. Yeah.
Oh, he must be deep.
Yeah.
You'd be like, damn, boy, he strung them words together.
Right, and they just...
boy, it's like, shit, I want to get to that.
Yeah. Let me get out my thesaurus and start studying, and I can just string all these words together. And
that's
the liberty and almighty sacred goddess energy and
oh man, we bought into that shit like big time, and instead of just saying, look, eat an apple.
Right. Yeah, eat it. Yeah.
Do a lemon enema. You dig? I mean, we don't have to get all heavy, deep, into the spiritual shit and talk about, the creator. And eat an apple. Do a lemon enema.
Right.
Eat a red leafy salad.
Yeah.
I have a recipe of Brother Air salad. Make that.
In fact, someone had, was that Rachel that had put up a picture. She ate some Brother Air salad today, and posted a picture.
Oh, okay, I did see that. She said she added one more thing. I think it was like something hot to it. And
was that okay?
Something like a habanero type of something that she added to it.
Yeah.
I think I said something to her, but yeah, I mean that's as clear as we could get as far as passing on information. Is here is something that you can go home and make, and guarantee you're gonna get an excellent elimination from it. And for me, it was the sweet tooth, so that was how I kind of overcame the sweet tooth.
Yeah.
And I still, if I make that salad and I say I'm gonna make enough for 2 days, shit, that shit don't last. But that night, and shit, so. Yeah, but that's my sweet tooth. I still have that kind of sweet thing.
Right.
But I learned to temper it. That's the one reason why I don't drink water on fast. Because of my sweet tooth. I drink juice.
Right.
And that takes care of it. I'm good.
Right.
I'm good. I don't want any water, so.
Yeah. So, let's see if there's any other questions that we want to deal with. Oh, I had popped it out. Let's see. Let's go to the.
We could just say this is question time.
If you got any questions.
We here.
Yeah, there was
just, ask us whatever. If you don't like us, tell us that too.
So here's one. Where is the ideal place to be after transitioning? What does that look like for the average person? And that's what I addressed that earlier, because that's what I said, where I don't promote a particular dogmatic idea of where we have to be, or the average person, because that gets into.
When you say where to be, what are you talking about?
Meaning, what's the end result?
Oh,
like I know what you would say, but we can't say that for everybody. Like we can't.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I
like,
just
where
didn't
do
know how you were asking if it was a place or.
Well, no, they meant like what's the end result? What do you people want some resolution. They don't. Yeah. They generally don't like the idea of. I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do now, I want people in my bloodline to benefit 8, 9, 10 generations. So I don't know how far I can go, but I know that I can clean things up to a point where I can totally change the trajectory of my bloodline. So that's a personal thing for me. Someone else might say that, like Brother Air says, he's trying to stop eating, and that's a personal thing for him. I'm saying that once you study the system.
With my time here.
And
I want to be here for a long, long time, but that's a goal.
Yeah.
Is to stop eating.
And so that's what I mean by we don't give any general. You have to come up with what you're trying to do. What's your goal? Because and I'll leave it to you to decide what it is you're trying to do physiologically. And so that's where the study comes in, looking into some of the different things. What's the potential? I mean, that's why this is a pioneering type of expedition, where we're seeing where does this go. I know that with transition, you can transform things down the line. So I'm trying to put things into a situation where folks that come after me, they don't have to go through a lot of the eliminations that I had to go through, and try to make it easier for every generation in terms of the transition.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes you got to go through some things. I mean, Well,
I'm talking about my personal goal of I'm going through, things that I'm allowing myself to go through because I'm gonna go through it instead of passing it on to somebody else.
Well, yeah, but there's other people too, not inside your bloodline now, I'm talking about, that go through the same kind of transition that you were going through. Like, they had, it just lined up.
Yeah.
It just lined up like that. And so, they'll go through, when you talk about certain things in your transition, and somebody say, oh man, I was dealing with that,
Right.
So,
yeah. Because there's a lot of,
how did they deal with it?
Yeah.
How did they come out the other end and get over that hump?
Right.
And,
right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where a lot of people just want to feel better. There's a lot of people that do have chronic illnesses that's trying to heal, just trying to feel, right. Trying to at least get over a hump. They might go back they might not live on the Mucusless diet the rest of their life, but they just happy to heal themselves for a period of time.
Pain is real.
And
pain is real.
The real motivator, yeah.
And there's not too much that I wouldn't tell somebody to do when they have that kind of pain that they're dealing with.
Yeah.
I've dealt with certain things and certain pains, and I've dealt with them in the way that I dealt with them. But you never can say what other people can deal with.
Yeah. I mean, it's an individual
that chronic
journey.
Headache, that chronic headaches that I went through about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And some people wouldn't have, we talking almost 3 months of that.
Yeah.
Some people would have went to the hospital within that week.
Right.
I mean, they would have just. Some people would have dealt with it, and with the drugs or some way, other way, or whatever. So, the way I dealt with it was I dealt with it.
You just fasted through it, didn't you? Just
I was.
You said you dry fasted.
I dry fasted out of it.
Yeah.
Because that was putting myself on Mother Nature's operating table. And sometimes you're hard-headed to the point where even the things that you don't apply. You know what I mean? You just don't apply it. You'd be like, well, I'm going to do this because of the craving, because of your physiology is somewhere else. And so I was fasting, and I stopped fasting, then I started back eating. I would try to do mucusless. I just went through it. I went through every juice. I was like, man, what is going on, man? But I didn't go to the hospitals and say, hey, give me some codeine, some, whatever. And
so now the brother responded here. He said the reason, or I'm assuming it's brother. The reason why everything being sold has such success is because people can see the end goal. It motivates them, and I know the end goal for me, but for the average person, they need an end game image to follow, and there's no such imagery out there for the Mucus-free Lifestyle. But that's what we was talking about before. That was the criticism that we're putting on. Yeah, we ain't talking about something being successful in the marketplace. There's a lot of things, the transformation of culture. What happened first is the culture transformed, and then vultures came in later and kind of turned it into something. And I'm just thinking of the back to nature renaissance. People think of, when I talk about back to nature, first thing they think about is the 1960s and so-called hippies. But the actual movement started underground in the late 1800s, of which Arnold Ehret became a fixture in that entire thing. So by the time you get to the 1960s and the so-called hippie movement, the original back to nature renaissance had totally degenerated, and the vultures came in and they started to sell this image that was easy for people, where you didn't have to do anything. You could dress a certain way, grow your hair out, and then you could be part of something, but you didn't have to do no work.
Now this is the history. This is history now. See, this is history that you need to know. And when he's talking about by the 60s, part of the holistic treatment was doing acid.
Right.
I mean, it got so
co-opted.
Through prohibition, through all of that, the end result is, let's do some acid.
Right. Yeah.
Let's do some acid, man. We love, peace, sex, and jump off the roof.
Right.
Shit.
Right. Right.
And so, it wasn't clear. And when you look back at those practitioners who were leading the way back there, where are they now?
Yeah.
Most of them are dead. Because they didn't have nothing to lead. I mean, they were just as crazy as the ones they were trying to lead. So Arnold Ehret's work is still here. Why? Because we're making it. We're making it a point to say, well, okay, this man had a program.
Yeah.
That we need in the 2000s, in the 1982s, it was something that we could look at and say, man, this could be something that
and so
get me over the hump,
And so, we can talk in terms of, the vision. And, over the years, I decide on how much of that to get into, because I notice that you start losing people and people start having unrealistic expectations of what they can accomplish. So if I start saying we can look to the ancient myths, so we can look to the old books that talk about the so-called golden age and the people that didn't, that either lived for thousands of years or didn't die. This type of consciousness is encapsulated into the historical records and the mythological records, and it's part of a consciousness that we can plug into. So in terms of a vision of what I want to see, I see us transitioning back to something that is more in line with the golden age type of lifestyle, where this entire pus and mucus society. So you asked me what I want to see. I want to see the day that all of these McDonald's, all these Burger Kings, all these Taco Hells are burnt directly to the ground. And what grows out of them is fruit trees. And what is planted all over the place is the fruit trees and the gardens. So that's the end game. But I tend to not get into that because I don't know, it throws people off sometimes. They can't see that. They want to know what they can do today. It ain't about today. It's about where are we going tomorrow.
They think this thing is so daunting to fight.
Yeah.
Oh man, they have such a grip on this. And I'm telling you, the grip that you think they have is very, very, they're just holding on. It's slippery. It's slippery.
Yeah.
They just holding on, man. They trying to, and so those who keep this thing going know that they can feel it themselves. It's almost like they can feel it themselves, like deep down, like this ain't gonna last. This is on its way out. And is it Richard Hansen, the Virgin president of was it Virgin Records or Virgin? Is his last name Hansen?
I forget, but I know you know.
But he said that meat, killing of animals will no longer be. He's like, the society will move to a point where the killing of animals will just not be anymore.
Just be looked upon as a the witch hunts of old.
Now I wonder what he's doing, because we talk about a multi-billionaire guy.
Brunson, is that Richard Brunson?
Was it whatever? The Virgin guy, Virgin Records or Virgin whatever. He's just mogul guy.
Right.
But I wonder what he's doing to make a statement like that. Like, what are you doing to help push that? Because maybe I want to get involved. If you're saying that we believe it, we're on board.
Richard Branson, okay.
Richard Branson, thank you. And so we believe it. We want to get on board. You dig? And help. We say push this deaf culture into the dustbins of history.
Yeah.
And this is a deaf culture on every level, and any time that you feel comfortable in it, there's something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
When you sitting up at a Cincinnati Reds game around people throwing balls at other people with bats, swinging it at 90 or 100 miles an hour, and everybody's sitting around smoking and eating garbage and drinking beer, something wrong with you. If you put yourself in that. There we go with the family again. Because of the family, we do it and we... Why is it that your family can always feel comfortable and you always got to feel uncomfortable?
Right.
Why do you allow that? That you put yourself, that that your family can feel comfortable in everything they do, every outing they have, everything that they set up, they feel comfortable in at home, and you don't. But the problem is, you do feel comfortable. You see what I'm saying? You do feel comfortable in the environment because you haven't really physiologically transition.
Yeah.
You ain't changed.
You still in it.
You just doing this to try to be hip, like this little hip, little fad movement. I'm a vegan. I'm this, I'm plant-based. And you're just trying to be hip. You don't really give a rat's ass. If somebody came to you with $1 billion check, you would say, look, if you eat this.
Yeah, I'll give you $1 million.
Man, do you know how many people would eat that shit?
Would take that, yep.
And rationalize it.
Right.
I've said that before. We become master rationalizers.
Right.
Especially in the black community. Let's talk about the black community. Since we brothers, let's talk about the conscious, the so-called conscious black community that claims to be, conscious black community that don't have the physiology piece together.
Yeah.
So what is that? What is that about? How can you be one and not the other? How can you be this? You're supposed to be the leaders of the pack.
Yeah.
Consciously. But I'm telling you.
Or they want to think they are. I mean, that's what they tell themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, mean, all that goddamn kente cloth you wearing ain't fooling no goddamn body,
Yeah.
And you dig, so controlling what you putting in your mouth and teaching others.
And for us, and there's this kind of, we've made efforts to bring this message to the so-called black consciousness community, and it just wasn't ready. They don't have a clue, they don't want.
Ready for what?
Wasn't ready to do what we're talking. Wasn't ready to be free. They talk all this freedom and all this. Oh, we're gonna, we got to do this to be free. Free your mind. Own your own this and doing that. They don't want real freedom. Because that would take work that they don't want to do.
What kind of freedom do they want?
Like you say, they it's not that they want to be away from the thing. They want to be a part of it. They want to run it. They want their turn to be president or to run their little nation. And do the same stuff.
Yeah, we want a
chance that the oppressors do.
Yeah, we want a chance to be degenerate. We want to be on top.
Yeah,
we want to run the death culture.
Yeah, we want our turn running the death culture. Yeah. I mean, that's what that is. Anytime, they talking about, okay, we're gonna put this together and study all this economics and let's put our pool our money together and do such and such. Well, where's that money going? It's going into barbecue. Like we're saying, unless you are diametrically opposed to the pus and mucus society, you're not supposed to fit in at a White House banquet gathering. I mean, you ain't supposed to fit in at the barbecue in the hood.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to fit in there. And so when you are still got, 1 foot in and 1 foot out, or consciously you're thinking that, okay, it's as long as we get our economics together, come together, pool our money, start creating our own banks.
That's what they think.
Creating our own, yeah.
That's what they think is the end all is financial.
Yeah. Yeah.
They truly believe that. I mean, they truly believe that. You know, I told a story about, you know, the family meeting and the uncle, you know, who has all the money in the family.
Yeah.
He's the real successful.
Right.
He's the funeral home director and shit.
Right.
Know?
Right.
He knows how to bury them, and you know, and so y'all sitting around the family meeting, all the cousins, all the uncles, aunts, grandmothers,
right.
Everybody's sitting around, and so the uncle with all the resources will say something that'll be totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just the stupidest shit that could have came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then here you are, somebody who's making $10 an hour, you know, working your 40 hours a week.
Right.
And you saying some brilliant shit. Some stand the test of time shit.
Right.
And nobody takes you serious.
No.
Because you don't have the resources behind you. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's where we don't even hear the rational thinking.
Right.
For look, money will end all our woes.
Right.
Money will create exactly what we want to create. Yeah, but there's I hear athletes, and I've known some athletes that have been very successful, millionaires, and we've sat down and talked, and they've come from humble beginnings, and this is, I'm telling you, not one, not two, not three, I'm talking 10 times I've heard this by cats that I grew up with that you know, became very successful. Well, you know, you get the money, and then you can start, once you get the money, you can do what you want.
Right.
I look at all 10 of them folks I've been talking about, and they
ain't built nothing.
No, Popeye's chickens.
Right.
McDonald's franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, but that's what they want.
Right.
But we're talking about something that, when you look at Procter and Gamble, that company has been around for what, a couple of 100 years.
Yeah, 100-something years.
So we're talking about something that can impact society. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we should be talking about. We're not talking about that. The conscious community is still dealing with their stomachs.
Yeah.
They can't get out of that.
They can't get past that.
They can't get past that. So, you know, it's a bad situation. You hear, and I've talked about this brother, and I don't talk about a lot of guys by name, but I'll mention Umar. Was it Umar Johnson?
Yeah.
And this dude, man, he can lay it out. He can flatly lay it out, like, you know, all the races, the history, the how the whole conspiracy thing works in terms of what manifested. But see, only a pus eater can talk about another sick pus eater's way of how they manifest success.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's what, because that's like what I was saying. Yeah, like that type of analysis and desire to want to, is like to want to recreate what the oppressors are doing.
And we eat it up. We sit there in the lectures and we eat this shit up, and this cat is so brilliant, and he's so, And then look at him. He got a stomach hanging over his belt. Because of the successful athlete who invited him to his franchise of Popeye while he was in that town.
Yeah. And then when, he was gonna create, which I guess I don't know if they was that's like the wall that's being built, like the school that people had donated millions of dollars to him, and he building the school. On that one. But then whenever he was asked about, well, you gonna have a plant-based or some kind of meal plan, and he was basically like
Hell
no.
Hell
like
no.
We'll have some vegetarian options.
Hell no. Hell no. He's too scared. He's a punk. He's a punk ass. Now, that's on YouTube. Show that shit to him. And then tell him if he got a problem with it, tell him to come to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling him that you a punk ass, no knowledge motherfucker for teaching people this bullshit and not trying to teach them about getting their stomachs together. You need to get your shit together. Cause all this bamboozle with bullshit, with this mouthpiece shit, need to cease. I'm sick of seeing black men and black women with all this bullshit. And black people going for it. They're buying into this shit. They're deep. Oh, they're heavy. I want to be like them when I grow up. No. This shit is so serious. We're in a state of emergency, people.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I used to say with, like, I don't have a lot of patience. When I go into some of these events, black events, I ain't sugarcoating nothing. I'm like, look, this is life or death right now, and you have to make the decision right now. You can't, because people want to try to act like they can chill.
Your shit is raggedy. Your status in America is fucking raggedy. It's raggedy. Ain't no nobility, ain't no majesty and shit. Your shit is raggedy. It's raggedy. So, don't say shit to me. Don't come saying shit to me about none of that. Your shit's raggedy. Cause you not dealing with your stomach.
Yeah.
You deal with your stomach, overnight, our community would change. Sisters, you got to shut it down. And we've said this before. You got to shut it down. Tell them brothers they got to clean their shit up.
Yeah.
Before they come at you. Overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight, the community would change.
Yeah.
Overnight, the community would change. But what's the problem, sisters? No goddamn discipline. You don't got no goddamn discipline. I know you. I see you. I talk with you. I admire you. I want a sister.
Right.
You dig?
Right.
But you don't got no damn discipline. No consistency. Oh man, you done got me all fired up now, man.
Unleashed. It's unleashed.
Unleashed. Well, I mean, hey, we gotta say what we need to say so that we can get some elevation in our communities. And we're not just talking to black folks. I mean, everybody's checking us out. We checking everybody out. The largest society, we take a minute to talk about black folks, because that's a real problem, man. And if black folks could elevate themselves as much as white folks like to follow our shit, it could help them. You know what I mean? They like to follow our little colloquiums and
Well, culture and music
and the
and all,
cultures and shit like that.
I mean, worldwide. I mean, that's not even a white folk. I mean, that's just worldwide.
Right, worldwide. So
Yeah.
we need to really start understanding the power that we possess and start acting like leaders.
Yeah, yeah.
Start acting like leaders. Not this arrogant dictating leadership.
Yeah, not that that old bigotry kind of thing.
But we don't want to do the opposite, like the same shit they did,
right.
No, but the one thing is we ain't going for the bullshit.
Right.
We ain't going for the dumb shit. I mean, that's the key here, is to remain rational. Try to remain rational. Try to think about things that would better for the overall. Now, those in the deaf culture who are running shit, they think they doing that.
Yeah.
If you talk to them and sit down and talk to them, they'll have a rational way of talking to you about what they are. They actually believe that they're helping the society and the earth and and all of that. So
right.
So yeah, we gotta really draw the line in the sand.
And I always like to point to this because this is we talking about the power and all that kind of. I mean, this is. I've never looked this up before. As a congressman eating, I wondered what would happen, just to see. But these are the stomachs that are making decisions that affect your life.
Yes.
And is that okay with you? Is that okay with you to have pus-eating savages that have no clarity of mind, that are sociopathic,
gone crazy,
making decisions about your life, and you're okay with that? But we're not going to change it by living like them. And that's the piece that all those folks miss. That we're not going to take up arms and get tanks like this one brother told me years ago. Like, man, we're gonna get some tanks, man. We're gonna we're gonna ride. Like, no. The transformation happens controlling what you put in your mouth. And you control that, and all of this stuff, like an enema, will be pushed right on out into the sea. It'll be over.
It's no mystery. It's no mystery about how to do it. It's no mystery.
Yeah.
The blueprint and and the cast has been set. You dig? We have the Mucusless Diet Healing System. The books are available. There's practitioners. There's people. The cast have been set. We're trying to get the information of Arnold Eric to you. The German folks don't like us. Some of them. They don't like, some black guys. Black guys dealing with Arnold Eric's work. What? We don't like that. Well, you deal with it. Shit. We would have followed you.
Yeah.
We would have been ordering the bungles from you.
Right.
Shit.
Yeah, but look at how sick this is. I mean, this is the dude that's supposed to be making all these decisions and representing you.
Hey, look, did you vote for him?
Come on, man.
Shit.
Yeah,
okay.
He's not my president, as they say.
I didn't vote for him, so.
Just as nasty as you want to be, man.
Yeah, well, that's all they know how to do is be nasty. That's how you become president. Look, Obama, he was just as nasty.
Oh, here's the governor of our state.
Well, fine. Well, don't leave out the brothers. We was talking about the black folks. Let's find Obama.
Oh,
let's find Obama
eating
cheese steaks and whatever else he can. There he is. This King Crazy. There is Mr. Stomach. Uric acid.
Yeah, see, we're fair and balanced.
Yeah.
They say we're fair and balanced. we equal opportunity.
He's
whoa.
Oh man, look at this dude.
Well, you just not supposed to let someone take a picture of you when you in that type of face, bro. Yeah.
Look at him. I love this. I love this. Look at him. He got his hot sauce. See?
Hey.
See, I'm a nigga. I'm a nigga. I like hot sauce too. See, I didn't want black people to think I wasn't still a nigga. I'm a nigga. Shit.
Oh, man.
There he is, sucking on the ice cream. He's eating some Mr. Softy.
Mr. Softy. Oh,
the
man.
worst of the ice creams. Okay. Oh, man. So, yeah.
So it's...
makes me shiver and shit. The folks that this society assigned value to. And if Obama came to town tomorrow... motherfuckers would be packing the place to hear this clown.
Yeah. Yep.
Black folks would go, oh my God, he's just, women, when he was running 2000, oh, he cute. Well, what the fuck did he say he's gonna do for y'all, legislative wise? Oh, I don't know.
I don't care.
He cute though. Shit, he cute. Shit, I like him to have my baby. So, and Michelle, she was trying to do a little something with the growing the.
Yeah, they had the garden, and I guess Trump ripped the garden out.
Oh man, that was the first. That was the first thing he did. That was the first thing he did when he came to the White House.
Yeah.
He got off the plane and walked to the garden and started ripping it up. Before he even went inside. He's like looking for Michelle's shit. Like, where the damn onions and tomatoes?
Yeah. We're gonna rip that out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. She's another one. Can't leave her out.
So that's the situation that we in, and we have to recognize it and understand it from that perspective, that this is a war of the stomachs.
Yes.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
This is not about all this other stuff and all it just get you out of your mind.
Yeah.
This is about stomachs.
Yep.
And that's the battleground.
Yep.
And so once you start to understand that, then we can position ourselves to have actual freedom. Because this ain't freedom out here at all. But we don't understand how to get it for real. Because all these movements that had happened over the years, they all went the same direction in terms of falling apart because of diet.
And believe us, we're not like lobbying to be your leader.
No.
Because those who would have us as leaders.
Yeah.
Oh, man. They say them people need Jesus in their life.
Yeah.
But we just making these observations about how we can get some real movement to a life culture.
Yeah.
Culture is what we're interested in. It's culture, man. Let's build a culture.
Right.
Oh, that's what we're interested in, is building a culture. And so, the first step that we take and what we think is it's got to be physiology. Mm-hmm. It's got to be what we're putting in our mouths. We got to teach our babies. We got to, the whole piece, it has to start there. And
right.
So it has to start there. So that's all we're saying, man, is that we think that this is how you build a culture, is you start here. You start there.
Yeah.
Because this is how the culture got all fucked up. It started there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Started there.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I got fucked up. It started there. So we ain't talking about folks who eating strawberries and bananas.
Mm-hmm.
See, we talking about full-blown. I mean, Professor just showed you a video of cats in a bathtub of spaghetti eating it. Nothing better to do. They think that's funny. They would do that to try to become YouTubers, and I mean it's nothing is off limits to zombies.
Yeah.
Nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
And so if you understand them and have any kind of understanding on any level, then you got real problems.
Yeah.
All I can say is 5 lemons, some distilled water, a hot water bottle, or a bucket.
Yeah.
And get busy.
Yeah.
Start cleansing.
Yeah.
Because you're not looking at things quite clear. So.
Yeah. That is that's true. That's the state of the mucus today.
Man,
that's the state of it.
Yeah,
brothers and sisters.
I mean, this is the last time we've done these. It's gotten better and it's gotten worse.
Yeah,
it's gotten better because we're still here.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Mucusless diet, and there's more people we can see.
Yeah. There's more people plugging in.
Yeah, plugging in. So okay, it's getting better. People are taking the time to sit and listen to some of the things we're talking about. You know? And but at the same time, we got a lot of work to do, and the work is in the discipline and consistency that you will show with your living.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with making people like so what your sister a little mad at you because she said something about the Thanksgiving meal and told her like, I can't participate this year.
Right.
So what? She's a little miff.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta get over that.
Right.
Everybody's not really into the diet, and I don't want to enforce they're enforcing their ways on you. If you're not into this, then why you gotta sit through that? You're sitting at the table and they pass the macaroni and cheese and the pork chops and the turkey legs and the candy yams and all that. And they pass it. You just sitting right there, and you're trying to have some conversation with some crazies. What do we say, man? That being fat and obese is the new crazy. We think that has become the normality now of just seeing people overweight.
Yeah.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
It's normal. So the new going crazy is people that are fat and obese. Now, we're not even talking about the uric acid.
Yeah.
People who they're just crazy.
Now I had to, on this topic, I got to bring up because again, without the context, I think people can misinterpret what we're saying.
Okay.
We are saying that this society, this culture is an abomination. Yeah. So we got to speak against it. This is sick. This is a television show on a channel called The Learning Channel, called My 600 Pound Life, where they film people that are morbidly obese, and that's entertainment. Now, nobody learning nothing from this. People are watching this to feel better about themselves because they aren't 600 pounds.
No, they're 400 pounds. So they feel better about themselves. Look at that. The abnormal has defined what normality is. There it is.
And my passion comes from a place of, I feel like, that part of where I come from, is like I feel bad about that because I know that I could take any one of these people, if they wanted to change, we could help them change.
All day.
We could help them today, starting today.
Transition.
But because the information that they're being fed is so ridiculous, they're set up for failure before they even start. And I guess a lot of the folks, it's like they have to lose weight just to get to a point where they can have the surgery, where they do various different, surgeries. I've only watched it a little bit, a couple times, but it's just sad. So this is what this is what we talking about. This is the state of the pus and mucus society. And it's bad enough that you got folks that's in a position where it's like they just need to work on getting themselves together like we do. But it's taking it to a whole different level of sickness when you are putting this stuff on TV as entertainment and paying folks to say, okay, we're going to film you in these compromising positions. This is sick. But what has happened is it's become normalized. This type of entertainment, this kind of stuff is just totally normalized, and it's got to change, man. This is ridiculous, and the only way it's going to change is people going to have to start getting actual information about transforming their physiology for real, cleansing themselves, and get on that.
And see where thoughts take you. See where inspiration takes you. See where the blood takes you. People say follow your heart. What about why don't we follow our blood? You'll follow your heart. Your heart is just an organ. There's blood that pumps through your heart, right?
Right.
We follow the blood. Follow the clean blood if you can create it for yourself. That's where the inspiration, that's where the feeling, that's where the joy, that's where the love, that's where all of this good stuff where you're sitting and trying to meditate. That's another thing, the meditation. Without the breathing and concentrating on the breathing. But they have people meditating and wanting to leave their body. Mm. You never leave your body. That's all you got. That's all you got is your body. What you want to leave it for? But that's where the whole yoga and all this, where you sit and meditate, you can leave the body. You don't never want to leave the body. What you want to do is, okay, if you're going to call it meditating, concentrating on the breathing technique. Just that would get you so far. Mm-hmm. Just that.
Yeah.
With the movement and the breathing, concentrating on the breathing, just that is enough.
Right.
But you never want to zone out and leave your body and all that. That's that racist shit from the Far East. Leave the body. No, I'm not leaving the black body. That's all we got. So, it's like, man, we really got to tune in, man, to the things that we're eating, trying to eat less. There's nothing wrong with eating less. That's a concept.
Yeah. Yeah, eating, yeah.
Eating less.
Less, yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember going down south, man, when I was young. We would do it every year. We'd go down to the Alabama Tuskegee games, because my people on my father's side was from Montgomery, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And man, they were big breakfast people, like 6 o'clock in the morning, man. Like, I mean, breakfast is like the Feast of Kings, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Long sausage links that, you know, looked like they clubbed a pig in the head and made them themselves. You know, it was so low. You're like, damn, where did these sausage links come from? You know, especially for me coming from up, you know, in Cincinnati, man, to seeing grits every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Right. Eggs and toast. 6 in the morning. I'm like, I'm not even hungry at 6 in the morning. I was like, man, what is this, you know? And so that whole thing, man, that whole culture, you know, not once did they have like some cantaloupe early in the morning, or, you know, it was just always this heavy breakfast, sausage patties, sausage links, bacon and eggs, grits every day, you know. So I mean, it's yeah, we got some work to do.
Yeah,
we got some work to do, and we wanna talk about Arnold Eric Day a little bit more. We want to make that something that is really a event, really something that people can come to and go and tell others about it. Like, boy, you gotta check it out next year, you know. Right. Something that they can talk about. And so, Professor told you last weekend of July, that's gonna be the annual. Every year we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And we kind of coincided that with, it was funny how we thought about it, the music festival that was down in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, well,
it's
yeah.
It's always.
Yeah, but.
You know, well, I mean, it's for Cincinnati, for black folks. I was real adamant about, I would definitely have something.
Yeah, like, yeah,
on this
have it on that day.
Yeah, I'm getting out of town. You know, I'm not gonna be here, because it's, you know, that's like the two most successful days in Cincinnati. The music festival, Fridays and Saturdays, economically for Cincinnati of the year. So it just is just.
Yeah,
Mucus and pus du jour.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's just, you know, ridiculous.
Porkopolis. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So
that's
that was kind of how it kind of landed, and I was like, you know, after it landed like that, I kind of thought about, like, man, I'd have to see that.
Right.
I didn't have to be in town that whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
So I could avoid
it. Kind of worked out.
Yeah.
So, all right, we kind of think we got it in a little bit, and gave folks some things to think about. And again, I'll
State of the Mucus address.
State of the Mucus.
Did we address everything that is there anything people wanted to address?
I think we got a nice.
Yeah.
You know, we got a nice nice thing. We're gonna be doing some more stuff. And I think we got most of the.
Good. I felt good about who I kind of had problems with. I feel cleansed.
Yeah, right. We're clean.
I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Getting some stuff off my chest.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I might come off my fast tomorrow.
Might come off the fast. Might come off the fast. Yeah. And so one more time, I'm gonna make the pitch. If you haven't done so yet, sign up. Get the free mucus-free recipes, menu planning report, food list, all that good stuff. Link is down below. If for some reason you have a problem where you sign up and you get the email and you click on it, but you don't get the gift, just shoot me an email and I'll figure out what happened. Every once in a while. Sometimes you have to check your spam mail. Sometimes it goes someplace strange and stuff, but we will deal with that also. Don't forget about this book bundle. This is this is what you want to get. Even if you got like one or two of the books.
Bundles.
Yeah, that. You want.
So now I know I'll see. Professor Spira will crop that in an ad.
Yeah.
And I'll be seeing
like
me
bundles.
do my bundle.
Exactly. Yeah.
I know how he is, man. I watch myself.
And but the Ultimate Everything package is what I recommend. It gets you all the paperbacks, all the PDFs and the MP3s, and to me, it's good to have all those different types, because with the PDFs, what I always like to do is look up specific topics, and you hit Control F and then type in the word, and you can just kind of quickly go through and find the topics that you want. You also get the MP3s in that package, and for a limited time, I'm autographing the annotated Mucusless Diet and Spira Speaks if you get the Ultimate Everything package. And then if you want that, you can also upgrade that to the e-course. Now, if you want just the e-course alone, we also have the spring sale 2019. That's almost, I guess, about 26 hours left of this sale. You get an additional $20 off. And so check out this page, and you can get more information about the e-course, which is taking it to the next level. People that have went through it have really given me a lot of feedback, a lot of positive feedback, saying it's really, really helped them along, answered all the questions that they had. And so you can try to do the thing alone, reading a book and really studying the stuff, or you can get that extra help with the e-course and just go through and deal with everything that needs to be dealt with. So that's that. And
yeah, man. And we want to thank everybody for the support of Mucus-free-Life.com. Just it's been wonderful.
Yeah,
just,
it's been
seeing this whole thing just turn into something. And
yeah.
And so just thank you from the depth of our heart.
Yeah. This is the real. I mean, we come from them humble beginnings. Like I said, we, from the days of no one in the forum, me talking to myself, now we got over 6,000 people in the forum. And, that was another announcement that I didn't get. We have a new way to get in the group. If you want to join the Professor Arnold Air Mucusless Diet Healing System group, now you have to sign up. You have to be a part of the Insiders Club, but it's real easy. Basically what I just recommended there, but there's another path in that gets you information about all the guidelines and things, and kind of gets you started in the group. So if you do that, just go to the Professor Mucusless Diet Healing, Professor Arnold Air and the Mucusless Diet Healing System Facebook group, and you can read the directions and sign up, and we will get you in there within a week. Is the deadline for kind of going through the applications and letting you in, and because that's how we. It was one question up there. It was like, well, how do you bring this information to people? How do you change the culture? is, what we're trying to do. That's what we've been trying to do. We had radio show for years broadcasting this information out, then the YouTube channel, the music, and now having the Facebook group and just doing what we can do. We can't do everything, but we are doing what we can do, and having a space where people are talking about the Mucusless diet in an educated manner, talking about their experiences. To me, that was the game changer in terms of the culture. That's the culture changing, because we're doing it through language. We can kind of monitor it and see it and look at it change. You can look at the history, go back through the old conversations in the group and see how people have changed in a positive direction in terms of the way that they think about the diet, the way that they understand it. You go back several years and it's a whole different level of understanding, and so now we've taken it to the next level, or we're going to keep pushing it forward to the even higher level, and until you get to a point where things that we're talking about is just common knowledge for everybody. And that's one of my goals. I want the language and the concepts that we're talking about to be common knowledge. It should be common knowledge, this stuff that we're talking about, and in terms of healing yourself and what to eat and mucus-forming foods and all that stuff. It should be common knowledge, and so that's it. But to get to that, we gotta go through this educational process.
And the hot water bottle should be hanging on the back door of the bathroom again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
So,
and
what I did want to do one shout out, because I didn't want to sound too bougie though, but Sister Dana had this jacket and hat made up for my Earth Day in December, and I've never worn it. So I finally wore it, because I was saving it to wear it on something like this, like that we would do. So I'm wearing it. Thank you, sis. She's New York bound now, so she'll be in New York, living two different places, but New York. And so yeah, just thank you for this. I didn't even know if it fit, whatever. Because I didn't even try it on. I just looked at it in the box.
Yeah.
She gave it to me in December. It was like, oh, thanks, beautiful and hanging out. So, yeah, man. So thank you. And I didn't want to sound too bougie, like we got wardrobe.
Yeah.
For the shoot, we got wardrobe. Just Earth Day present. So
that's what's up.
So I want to thank Professor for hosting us up in the Mucus-free Life.com studio, and just with the information and some of the things we said, just take what you need, leave the rest alone.
Yeah.
You dig? Like I say, man, I'm not gonna be as accessible as I used to be. And it's nothing negative, but it's just something that I have to do. Like, I have to do it.
Yeah.
And so, other than that, thank you, and just try to stay, at the least, just stay mucusless a few days a week. Just a goal of a few days a week. Just try to stay mucusless.
Right.
You dig?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Just trying to stay mucusless a day is a lot. And so little things like that, little steps like that help you to transition. And, you know, you find good things to eat, you know, when you're looking.
Right.
You find
you know. And, so, all right. Well, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in and everybody that supports Mucus-free Life and this Mucus-free movement. And it's just going to get better and better now. We're just taking things to the next level. And but I truly appreciate all of the support and all the love. And we will transform this world together. That is a promise.
Yeah.
So, until next time, I'm Professor Spira.
Brother Air.
And we will be back at you soon.
Thank you.
Peace, love, and breath.